everyone. Welcome to the second episode of reviewing Colourful Hell in comprehensive detail. Today we're going to be looking at the Shotgunners. We're going to be reviewing all the Shotgunners, all 14 Shotgunner variants, and then we're going to go over the differences in Colourful Hell Plus, what how the Shotgunners are different there, and we're going to be going over Explosive Shotgunner, so be sure to stick around if you want to learn more about Colourful Hell, and we'll get through all the enemies in Colourful Hell, and it will be a long journey, so stay tuned. But first, I want to go over something I missed for the zombie men. I missed one of the features of Abyss Zombie. So when you kill an Abyss Zombie, let me just summon an Abyss. Actually, wait. Oh my goodness. So when you have an Abyss Zombie, the other zombie men that are around it are going to get infected, which we discussed last time, but I never showed off the actual transformation in-game. So if I kill this zombie here, you can see he spawns as an Abyss Zombie. Alright. Okay, so one other thing I missed real quick for the zombie men. This is something I completely overlooked. Oh wait, this is Colourful Hell Plus. Oh, okay. So if we go to Brown Zombie, there's recently actually like a crash discovered with Brown Zombie, so right here, Brown Zombie had like a chance of crashing the game, and that is, see this go to C +7, that is, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it brings you to this line with this chain gunner here. Basically this means that whenever Brown Zombie is next to a chain gunner, it would it basically causes infinite loop, a 0-frame infinite loop basically. It would check infinitely if there's like a chain gunner next to the Brown Zombie, and basically that would just cause it to crash. Thankfully I believe there is an update released recently that fixes this, where this gets changed to +8, so it brings you here. But yeah, there was a crash and it got fixed, and that's also one thing I wanted to cover. So that's where I want to get out of the way first. Let's go into the Shotgunners. Let's start off with the random spawner here. So as you can see, White Shotgunner, the rarest, at 1 out of whatever the sum of all of these are, which is like 1700 something. So Common Shotgunner is 600, Green Shotgunner 300, half the chance. Blue Shotgunner is 280, which is very close to Green Shotgunner. Purple Shotgunner 60, which is very far away from Blue Shotgunner. Some of these probabilities are really strange. That's just how it is. Yellow Shotgunner, the exact same as Purple Shotgunner at 60, which is really interesting. I mean, yellow is supposed to be rarer than purple, so I don't understand what's going on there. Red Shotgunner 33, Black Shotgunner 5, White Shotgunner 1. And for the optionals, we have Cyan Shotgunner at 200, Gray Shotgunner at 60, Abyss Shotgunner at 50, Brown at 60, and Fireblu at 43. So now let's go into Common Shotgunner. Okay. So let's see. We got some damage factors here. I don't quite know what these are. We have the Don't Harm Species flag, which doesn't really work with hit scan, and avoid melee. So the shotgunner will just like run away from you if you have like your fist out or like a chainsaw. It will just slowly back away. It's called Former Sergeant. As for this guy, you should be exactly the same, except he has like the Gib Death here, the more detailed Gib Death. This, which is for Abyss Pain Elemental, we'll get to that. and he can turn into a green shotgunner when he gets resurrected with this inventory item, which we'll also get to later. And then, of course, white zombie transformation. He spawns a skeleton. And yeah, that is common shotgunner. Nothing too different. Pretty standard. Green shotgunner has 45 health. This is all with the most recent Colourful Hell version of 1.02. If you're still using 1.01, the green shotgunner's health will be 50. Otherwise, it has recently been changed to 45. So I'll be discussing the 1.02 version changes. More damage factors, the same as the common shotgunner. Speed of 8, pain chance of 160, which I think common shotgunner is a pain chance of 170, so he is ever so slightly harder to stun. Floor clip, don't harm species, avoid melee. Player got green splashed. When he dies, he drops a shotgun. He drops 4 shotgun shells. Actually, I think it becomes 2 shotgun shells for some reason. More shotgun shells a fourth of the time, and more shotgun shells half the time. And then this is the translation that makes him green. There's this part of the code that's been cut out that probably makes him look a little different. We'll never know what that looks like, unfortunately. Green former sergeant, yep. And then the attack he does is he fires 7 green pellets at you. They're like all like really fast projectiles that all are like spread out from -3 degrees to 3 degrees. So 3 degrees to the left to 3 degrees to the right. Fire 7 of these, and yeah, that's his attack. And everything else is pretty standard. Turns into a blue shotgunner if he gets resurrected with this thing. We'll get to that in the arch files, as I said before. The shotgunner green pellet he fires, SG shot 1, travels at 55, which is very fast. That's like, you have to like already be strafing to dodge that. But on fast monsters, it goes at 80, so it's even worse to dodge. And each pellet does between 2 to 6 damage, 4 damage on average, times 7, that is about 28 damage on average if you tank a full green shotgunner blast. It does plasma damage, which is interesting. Scale 0.15, that means it's very small. It uses the Imp Fireball sprite, translated to make it look green. So I can summon a green shotgunner. He's got the icons as we discussed in the Zombieman video. He sees me, he does the attack, fires 7 pellets at me. Kinda looks like he's sneezing at you. But yeah, that's green shotgunner. He has red blood. But if you give him, it turns into green blood. With red gibs. Yep, that's just how it is. Don't question it. Green shotgunner. Okay, blue shotgunner. Has 55 health. Previous versions he had 62, but it's been nerfed to 55. Now, one thing you'll notice is that 55, that's less than Blue Zombie's HP we discussed last time at 60 HP. So Blue Shotgunner has less HP than Blue Zombie, which is pretty counterintuitive. Pretty strange. Mass is 110. I think it's 100 for this guy. That's an interesting change. You're not going to notice that at all, but it's interesting. The speed is 9, slightly faster. Pain chance 150, slightly tougher to stun. Don't harm species, avoid melee, floor clip. He plays some of the Doom 64 shotgunner noises. The player got over drastic blues relief. Shotgun. Drops shotgun, he drops 4 shotgun shells, 2 for each of these. He drops health bonus, another health bonus half the time, another health bonus quarter of the time, and a box of shells, about a sixth of the time. Which would turn out to be like 10 shotgun shells, because I think every item pickup dropped by enemies is like, or every ammo pickup is like cut in half. So that's why like when shotgunners drop their shotgun, you only get 4 shotgun shells instead of 8 when you pick it up when it's initially placed in the level. And this, he looks blue, and then blue former sergeant. So blue shotgunner has 2 attacks. If you are closer than 350 pixels, he'll do his lance attack. This attack is very complicated, so we'll talk about the other attack first. If you are farther than 350 pixels, he'll do his railgun attack. So he fires 3 railguns at you. 3, each of them do between 2 and 8 damage, so that's 15 damage on average. 2 of the railgun shots have white particles, and the other one is blue. No piercing, so it can't go through you and hit other enemies. It's not like, you know, it can hit more than one enemy. It will usually just hit you or someone else, and then it'll just stop when it hits that enemy. Aim is 1, so it actually aims at you. This will become more significant later. 25, 12, 33. Max diff, I don't exactly know what that is. Off the top of my head. I mean, none of these other stuff really matter anyway. Mostly just worried about the damage and the particles here, and then this as well. And then his lance attack, he'll fire this thing at you. And then he spawns a purple shotgunner, you know, if he gets resurrected by some crazy archvile. So the actual lance, there are 5 of these actors here, so this is just one of them here. So this is the initial lance projectile he fires. It travels at 20 speed. It does 1 damage, but, or this is 1 times 1 through 8, so it can do between 1 and 8 damage. But this here, this is Ripper, this flag, so that means it will go through you, and I think for like every frame you're inside of it, it will do this amount of damage. So if it goes through you at speed 20, it'll probably be inside you for a few frames, so it'll probably do upwards to like 15 damage or so. And then strife damage. This flag makes it so the multiplier for 1 here is usually it's a multiplier of 1 through 8, but strife damage makes it 1 through 4. So it actually does 1 through 4 damage for every frame it's inside of you. So I misspoke earlier. So it should probably do like 10 damage or so if it's inside of you a few frames, hypothetically. It plays the fireball hit sound, and then here, every 2 frames it's in the air, it will spawn this thing, and then when it dies, it will spawn the this thing, which is like the thing it spawns when it hits like a wall, which is like a bigger plasma sprite. And all these use the plasma fireball sprites from the plasma rifle as well. So what this thing does, the thing that spawns in the air every 2 frames as it's traveling, speed is 1, so it's like pretty stagnant. It does between 0 and 1 damage, not a Ripper, so it'll just either do 1 damage or 0 damage, then just disappear if you're inside it. And every 2 frames that this is in the air, it will spawn another thing here, and that inherits this. Seems pretty much exactly the same, though some slight differences, like this is scaled a little larger than this. I guess that's it. and this will spawn yet another Lance actor every 2 frames. And then this Lance actor here inherits this, except its scale is smaller. And then that's kind of where like the cycle ends. Yeah, it's a lot to explain. It's a complicated attack for sure. And then going back to this, the thing that spawns when the main lance hits a wall. SG Lance 5 is pretty much stagnant at speed 1, does 1 through 8 damage. It doesn't have the strife damage flag. It's a ripper, so if you're inside it, it'll do more damage. So that means if you're inside of this actor, when it spawns, that's how you can take the most damage from a shotgunner lance. So you want to avoid being inside of this projectile as much as you can, as that will do the most damage. Scale is 1.5, so it's it's a large plasma sprite. And then, oh yeah, after 6 frames when it spawns in, it will explode for 2 to 8 damage with a radius of 32 pixels. So let's just go into this attack already. Let's look at it for ourselves. First, we'll show off the railgun attack. It's, you know, pretty standard. If he'll do it, he's kind of just walking at me. Come on, there you go. Yeah, not too special. But then this lance attack, get a slow motion on it. So he fires this thing. And so the SG Lance 1 projectile, that's the thing that moves all the way to this point. And then once it does, this thing right here, this is SG Lance 5. This is the thing you want to avoid being inside of because it will do the most damage to you. And then everything here is SG Lance 2, 3, and 4. The things that spawn in. So if we really zoom in here, we can see that they're all like 1 pixel separated from each other. I don't know like if it's 2, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 4. I don't know how they're ordered, but they're all pretty much identical. Obviously they can do damage too, but not as much. You mostly just want to avoid being inside of this projectile when it spawns in, or you want to avoid being in the lance as it's traveling. So we'll see how much damage. So if I'm close to this guy, you can see he's not going to do much damage because the initial lance is inside of me for only a couple frames, so it does this 1 to 4 ripper damage here, so it'll probably do like 10 damage or so. And as you can see, it's doing like, you know, a little more than 10 damage. But that's one way to not take much damage. And then I guess if I travel inside of these things here, I don't take much damage either. But the way you take a lot of damage from this guy is if you are standing the perfect distance to where you're inside of SG Lance 5. You can see I am taking a massive amount of damage this time. Taking like upwards to like 80 damage at most. You can see there, that entire attack I took 46 plus 31. Yeah, so that's how you take a lot of damage from this guy, so don't do that. So that's Blue Shotgunner, that's pretty much the lance attack. I hope you understand that well enough. Moving on to Purple Shotgunner. Purple Shotgunner has 75 health. In older versions he has 83. 110 mass, 9 speed, 150 pain chance. All this is the same as Blue Shotgunner. This guy has no fear, which is interesting. So if you have the cheat that makes enemies run away from you, he will not run away. That's an interesting flag to put on such a weak enemy. I mean, not that Purple Shotgunner is weak, just that, you know, he's not like a boss enemy. Usually you see these on boss enemies. We got the Doom 64 sounds. Player was roasted nicely. Shotgun, cell pack, or an energy cell half the time, which is like 10 cells if it's dropped by an enemy. Obviously, it's 20 cells normally. We got an energy cell pack an eighth of the time, so that's a rare item to get from this guy. We got more shotgun shells that always drop, a health bundle that always drops, which is like a huge cluster of health bonuses, and we got a single armor bonus that spawns half the time. And then this translation makes him look purple, purple former sergeant. And then this guy's attack, if you are 300 pixels close to him, he will do this attack. He goes here, and then he checks again if you're 300 pixels closer, which is strange. And if not, he goes here, which you won't really ever see this unless you're like in the 2-frame window where he does both checks. I guess he does these at 2 different intervals between 2 frames from each other. So technically he can go here, but that's besides the point. Otherwise, if you are farther than 300 pixels, he will go to his get closer attack. He plays like this gas sound, which is like, I don't know if you heard that in the mic. But he'll charge at you like a Lost Soul, except it goes slower. Lost Soul has 20 for the speed. This guy will charge at you with speed 12. He charges at you twice actually, and then he just goes straight to his C state. So he'll be zooming at you while also like walking simultaneously. It looks kind of strange. But when he is close to you, he will fire one of these purple fire actors at you every 3 frames in bursts of 3, and he'll keep doing that until you get farther away, I guess. So this is go to fire 1. So every time it fires 3 of these things, it checks if you are 300 pixels closer. If not, go to C. I guess that's what the point of this is. And if you are, it'll fire 3 more of these. And then this, I guess makes it fire for a little longer. That's the Purple Shotgunner attack. For the fire itself, radius 8, height 8, speed is 16, so that's like ever so slightly faster than a Baron projectile. Does between 5 to 10 damage on impact, and it has a lot of explosion damage. Every 5 frames it's in the air, it will do between 3 to 10 damage, with a radius of 20. And same goes for here. I mean, this is just not even necessary. You can combine it like this, and then you'll be fine. And this being fired every 3 frames actually adds up to be like a ton of damage. May not seem like it because these are all like smaller numbers, but it really adds up over time. So this will average 8 damage on direct impact. You can expect to take maybe a few damage of hit points here. So every 3 frames, that's like 11 of these things per second. So yeah, that adds up to like 100 per second, 100 damage per second, if I were to guess. So Purple Shotgunner, he looks purple, obviously. You can see the bursts of 3 fire. So if I stand far away, he's gonna charge at me, and he's like gonna walk at the same time. And he can actually like do his attack as he's like already charging in the same direction. So let's see how this attack is. Yeah, this attack does a ton of damage. That kills me in like 3 seconds with 400 health. So that's like almost 200 damage per second if you stay in the fire. Otherwise, you can circle strafe it you can take a little bit of damage, but it still adds up to be a ton. So yeah, this guy is very dangerous. So yeah, avoid that guy. Make sure you stay far away from him. Try to like snipe him with a chain gun if you can. Just don't let him do hundreds of damage to you. So Yellow Shotgunner has 85 health. It has yellow blood. Speed is 9, pain chance is 128, so he gets stunned like half the time. Floor clip missile more, so he attacks more often than most other shotgunners. And no fear, yet again. Very interesting. So this missile more flag is here, but yet down here, you can see he calls a chase every 4 frames, when most shotgunners will do it every 3 frames. So that would make this guy less aggressive if it wasn't for this missile more flag. So he becomes about just as aggressive as most other shotgunners. He plays the Doom 64 shotgunner noises. Player was made into fine Swiss cheese by Orange Sergeant, not yellow for some reason. The sprite doesn't even like look yellow or orange. The sprite actually just looks like more brown than anything, which is interesting. This guy probably should use like a better translation than what he has. But anyway, he drops 2 shotgun shells half the time, another 2 shotgun shells half the time, a box of shells guaranteed, which is a lot of ammo, a single health bonus, a green armor a quarter of the time, and a health bundle half the time, and of course a shotgun. So this guy drops a lot of goodies when you kill him. And then Yellow Former Sergeant. You can see his idle behavior is a little more complex. He chases you every 4 frames. He travels 9 pixels every 4 frames. He's like a 1 in 5 chance here to go to this part where now he starts darting left and right and dashing around. That makes him hard to hit. And then he has like an equal chance to go back to normal here. So as for his actual attack, this is interesting. So he will fire a custom shotgun attack. That's fairly accurate. 5 and 4 here, horizontal spread and vertical spread. He fires 3 bullets that all do either 3, 6, or 9 damage. So that is an average of 18 damage every time he fires at you. And he will rapidly fire at you 4 times here. Looks like 17 frames between each shotgun attack here. He will rapidly fire at you 4 times, and then after that he'll go back here. But he gives himself this inventory item here every time he attacks. So if he has 16 of these when he does an attack, which means if he goes through like this entire phase like 4 times, and he goes back here for the 5th time, it will see, oh, you have 16 of these now because you fired 16 times. Now you have to like reload your shotgun. So when he reloads his shotgun, he basically just stands still for like 2 seconds and reloads his shotgun, obviously. And like that's like when you can really like kill him. And yeah, that is Yellow Shotgunner. So you can see here, he looks like, you can't really tell he's yellow. You can't really tell he's orange either. He just looks brown for some reason. 85 health. He's gonna fire at me 4 times for small damage each. Wow, he's really aggressive now. Okay, so now he fired at me 16 times, so the next time he fires, he's gonna reload his shotgun. As you can see there. We can kill him. Easy. And then he has brown blood. It's very strange. Actually, he reloads after he finishes his 4th attack here, so either when he finishes his 4th attack, or I mean, I guess this is up here just in case he gets stunned or something. But yeah, he'll reload his shotgun. That's pretty much yellow shotgunner. Okay, so now red shotgunner. Red shotgunner has way more health than any of the previous shotgunners we've been through at 150 health. Yellow shotgunner was 85. I forgot to mention in the older versions he has a 96 health. Yeah, red shotgunner 150, speed 9, mass is 5,000, so you can't really push him anywhere at all. He's a pretty big boy. Pain chance 110. Floor clip, missile more, no fear. He will play, I believe it's like Quake zombie noises. And then player got splattered by the deadly force of red shotgunner. So when he dies, he drops a super shotgun half the time. 4 shotgun shells, 2 of these half the time. A box of shells guaranteed, a shotgun guaranteed, an armor bundle a quarter of the time, a green armor about an 1/8 of the time, and a health bundle guaranteed. And then red RNG former sergeant. This guy has some RNG to him. Random number generator. So this guy, he chases you every 4 frames, so he's a bit slower. But again, this missile more flag makes him more aggressive. So he has 2 attacks here. If you are closer than 650 pixels, he will do his super shotgun blast. Otherwise, he will do this attack where he fires 5 of these projectiles at once. Each of them at slightly different offsets. Slightly different offsets, X and Y offsets. So his actual shotgun attack is pretty inaccurate. The horizontal range 11.2, vertical range 7.1. It's not very accurate. I think that's what the regular super shotgun is. But he'll fire anywhere between 15 to 20 bullets that each of them do between 1 to 3 damage, multiplied by another multiplier that is between 1 to 3. So a single bullet can do 1 times 1, another bullet can do 3 times 3, so that would average out to be 4 damage per pellet. And then between 15 to 20, that would be roughly 70 damage, I think, is the average amount of damage from the super shotgun attack. 70 is a lot of damage. But theoretically, he can do up to 180, 20 times 3 times 3. Or he can do as little to 15. And then when he fires, he gives himself this inventory. This basically makes it so that when he goes back here, when he tries to fire at you a second time, he has to reload his shotgun, and it takes a little while. So he'll fire, he'll reload, he'll fire, reload. So you can get lucky when he attacks you, that he'll just reload. And then this guy spawns purple particles when he gets gibbed. That's kind of funny. This is for so this. Let's review this. This projectile inherits another projectile that that the red imp has. So we'll get to that later. But this basically travels at speed 48. It does whatever damage the red imp projectile does here. Every frame it spawns one of these things. Another red imp inherited projectile. And this would like basically spawn like a ring of red stuff when it hits something. Let me actually look what the damage is real quick, just so I can show you. Between 2 and 19 damage per shot. So 5 of these between 2 and 19 damage. That would probably be like 50 something damage on average. So summon red shotgunner. For some reason, wait a second. He doesn't look red for some reason. I wonder if that's because of like, I have like this this custom palette here. But he's supposed to look red here. I'm not sure why. I'd probably just have a custom palette loaded. This sort of like camo green is supposed to be red. But yeah, I'm close to him. He did a super shotgun. He's gonna reload next time. He's gonna fire again for a ton of damage. He's gonna reload and fire again. That was the exact same amount of damage. And if I'm far away, he will do his long range attack. He will do his long range attack. There we go. Looks pretty cool. If it hits me, it does like 50 something damage. Can you do it again, sir? Can you do it again? Can you stop walking at me? There we go. And that's red shotgunner. He gets gibbed, you can see it. For some reason he spawns purple particles. Very strange. Alright, so now we're gonna go get into the bosses for the shotgunners. So starting with Black Shotgunner here, there's no X variant. Black Shotgunner has 1,950 HP, takes 33% damage from radius damage, 10% extra damage from plasma, 3 times from heroic, don't know what this is yet again. Speed 16, pain chance 96, which is actually really high for a boss. Black Shotgunner is actually really easy to stun, so you can use that to your advantage. We have boss, no radius damage, minus no radius damage. Floor clip, don't morph, no infighting, missile more, through species, don't harm species, and no fear. We have the Z spec ops sounds, which just sound like the radio noises. You'll know when you hear it. Player was gunned down by the leader of Black Shotgun crew. Drops a shotgun, an armor bundle, a health bundle, 2 boxes of shells, a medkit, backpack bundle, and all this other mod stuff when it dies. And then this translation actually makes Black Shotgunner look purple for some reason. It's like a dark purplish. So if I go in game here, so if I go in game here and I summon Black Shotgunner 3, you can see that sprite. You can see how he looks purple for some reason. It's really weird. But yeah, that's just how it is. I guess to distinguish between it from the shotgunner troops. But yeah, we got shotgun crew commander. Scale is extra 10% scaled up compared to the shotgun troops. When it spawns in, it spawns 2 shotgun troops, and it will do its announcement script. So I can do this. 2 shotgun troops, and then it says they send the special forces out to get you, Black Shotgunners. And this idle state here, it actually like checks to see like where the player is every 1 frame. Usually it's like every 10 frames it would call a look, which just checks to see like if the player's in the line of sight, but this calls it every frame instead of every 10 frames, so yeah, he'll immediately see you. C state, every 12 frames has a 1 in 4 chance to go to this state where it does like some weird movement here. We have the fast chase, and then a wander here is just where it just like will wander in a random direction, any of the 8 directions it can go in instead of traveling straight towards the player. So that has a bit weird movement here, and then it goes straight back here. When it attacks you, it if you were closer than 500 pixels, it will go do its shotgun attack. So we have very random accuracy here. I don't know why it is, but that's just how it is. It will fire between 3 to 9 bullets that do 1 to 8 damage times 1 to 3 each. And then it has this this bullet puff here, which is like an explosion, sort of a mini explosion, and it does extra damage to you. So you have to worry about that as well. And then after it does its shotgun attack, it will have a 1 in 4 chance to toss a grenade. Otherwise, it will repeat its shotgun attack until you know, stuff happens. So the grenade toss fires a gas grenade. Nothing too special. Otherwise, if you are farther than 500 pixels away, it has a 1 in 2 chance to do airstrike or snipe, and if that fails, is a 1 in 3 chance to summon, a 1 in 3 chance to airstrike, and a 1 in 3 chance to snipe. So really the probabilities here is 5 in 12, I believe, to do an airstrike or a snipe, and a 2 in 12 to do a summon. So the summon, it plays a bunch of radio Z-spec op noises at full volume, and then it summons 4 black shotgun troops, pretty deadly. You don't want him to do that at all. And then the snipe attack, he'll like look at you for a moment, and then he'll instantly hit you with like this bullet here, and it does damage. And then the airstrike, he'll do this, which spawns like this red circle around you to let you know he's attacking you, and then he'll fire his airstrike thingamajigger. When he gets stunned, he has a 3 in 8 chance to go to the regular chasing thing, otherwise he'll go do his weird movement. And then, okay, Black Shotgunner Troop has 280 health, speed is 13, a little bit less, pain chance is the same at 96. 80% damage from fire, 80% damage from plasma, 70% damage from BFG tracers, I think. And then no radius damage, floor clip. These are all pretty much the same flags, except this minus activate M cross here. I don't really know why it's there. Usually this is the default when it doesn't have this flag. And then the Z-spec up noises. Player was gunned to death. Player was gunned down by the Black Shotgun crew. Drops a shotgun, an armor bundle 1/3 of the time, a health bundle 2/3 of the time, box of shells 1/4 of the time, and medkit 1/8 of the time. Black Shotgunner Troop. And again, he will see you every frame instead of every 10 frames when he's looking out for you. And then this behavior here is like very complicated. I don't quite understand it that well myself, but I'll go through it in sort of a more basic detail fashion instead of going into super detail. I do know that when the shotgun troop is in this aggressive C state, I know this doesn't really work properly, and basically it would just look like he's gliding with the same animation frame over and over. So he's supposed to go through like all this and then loop back to here, but he only goes through like only this or maybe this. So he's stuck in the same animation frame and it just like looks like he's sliding towards you. It's really weird because yeah, like these two things here, it's just like this brings you, he's a 1 in 8 chance to go here. Otherwise, this will also bring you here. He'll never actually go down anywhere past this point. The Black Shotgunner troops also frequently will warp to the shotgun leader if they're over 1,000 pixels away. So that's what all this is here, all this highlighted code. This guy has like 5 different states he can do. This guy can also transform into an Abyss Shotgunner, which is interesting if you have an Abyss Pain Elemental. So he has this aggressive C state where he just like runs at you very quickly. And then his attack that he does is he fires a sort of inaccurate shotgun shot. 7 bullets for 8 or 12 damage with the explosive bullet puff, same as the other shotgun attack from the or not the exact same shotgun attack as the leader, but rather the same bullet puffs. And then he can also fire a grenade as well. 1 in 4 chance to go to a grenade. This guy doesn't actually repeat his shotgun attack, unlike the leader does. If the chance for a grenade toss fails, he just goes back to chasing you. He has this aggressive mode. He also has a sprint mode where he moves even faster. He chases you every 2 frames instead of every 3 frames. He has this wander mode where every 4 frames he will wander around in a random direction. He has this creep mode where he will, where is it? This. He would basically chase you every 5 frames instead. And then this berserk mode, pretty similar to the aggressive mode, where he chases you every 3 frames. And of course there's like probably a lot of other minor details about all of this, I'm sure, but I don't quite understand it well enough to, I mean, it's not really all that relevant or important, basically. Anyway, this is an inventory that the shotgunner troop uses to, I guess, decide like what mode he's gonna be in. But yeah. So now on to the actual projectiles and stuff that Black Shotgunner uses. We have the gas grenade, speed 25, damage 20 and 70 on direct impact. Minus no gravity, which means it is affected by gravity. Gravity 0.29 means it has 29% gravity, so it will fall slower than if this were 1.0. The less the number is, the slower it will fall, basically. And then grenade trail, I guess it spawns a trail. We have these grenade sounds here, which aren't actually like defined in anywhere, so the grenade is basically just like completely silent. You can see bounce type doom, that means it just bounces. The doom bounce type, and there's like a hexen bounce type. I can't remember if there's like a heretic bounce type, but it's not really relevant that much. And then this grenade does fire damage, of course. So that when the grenade's in the air, every 3rd frame it'll have a 1 in 32 chance to go here, I guess, where it just like changes its direction. And then a 1 in 64 chance to just explode before it hits anything. So when it explodes, it will do between 20 to 50 damage immediately with the radius of 128 pixels. It will spawn 4, 8, 14 of these gas things here. These gas clouds and just various nearby where the grenade explodes. This gas right here is actually part of the green cyber demon actors. You'll notice the gas that we covered in Green Zombie is gas 11, which is different from gas 14. I believe gas 14 is just a more powerful version of the gas that spawns. And there's also like gas 13 and where green paint elemental is, right here. But we'll get to gas 14 once we get to the cyber demons. All you need to know for now is it's just basically a stronger version of gas 11. And then this, I believe, this is either the bullet puff from the shotgun attack or the snipe attack. Let me just see real quick. I'm struggling to navigate the code. Yeah, so the shotgun attack is just Steedo Puff CG, and the snipe attack is CG2. Yeah, so this is what he hits you with when he snipes you. Does fire damage, plays this sound, and it will basically explode for 12 to 36 damage at random, of course, with 42 pixel radius damage. And then it will also burst into a bunch of these things, which basically just do extra damage to you. Puff CHBS does between 0 and 1 damage. I don't actually know how many of these spawn in, but it's probably like at least a dozen or so. So it will just do a bunch of extra damage. Typically the snipe attack will probably do like maybe 40 damage or so, if I were to guess off the top of my head. But yeah, speed 8, I don't know if that really matters that much, since it's not like an actual projectile, it's just an extra effect. And then the airstrike attack that the Black Shotgunner uses, speed 28, does between 5 to 40 damage on direct impact, but you're probably not going to get directly hit, because this flag right here, ceiling hugger, means that the projectile will basically just be glued to the ceiling when it's fired. So it will just usually just travel straight over your head, and it does fire damage, of course. Float, no gravity. I'm not sure why this is there. The sprite of the airstrike is actually like a cacodemon head. So head right here, this is the name of the cacodemon sprite, and it's just basically a floating cacodemon on the ceiling that rains down missiles on you. It's really weird. Yeah, all these missiles rain down in various random locations around where the airstrike is. And then if this actually like somehow manages to hit you with direct impact damage, it will also do a bunch of explosion damage here at well. Between 10 to 40 damage with radius of 108 pixels 2 times, and 10 to 45 damage with 108 radius 3 times. So that's adds up to be a lot of explosion damage. And then the missile it rains down, speed 10, damage 10 to 50 in direct impact, fire damage, no gravity, gravity 1.5, so that's how it rains down on you, because it is affected by gravity. And then it drops a shotgun shell, like a 20th of the time, though it's just like, I don't know if projectiles can actually drop items, so I don't think I've ever actually seen this, but this is just there, I guess. And then when the missile hits you, if it hits you, it will do 5 to 40 damage for explosion damage with 98 pixel radius. So 30, and then yeah, you can expect like 53 damage, I guess, on average. And then it also does this as well, same as the shotgun snipe thingamajigger. It just does a little bit of extra damage. And then this is the thing that Black Shotgunner uses to, this is the red circle that spawns around you. It plays a bunch of beeping noises. It lets you know something bad's about to happen. That's basically that. Alright, so now let's go check out Black Shotgunner here. So let's just show off all the attacks here. Let me turn the sound. So you can see he's doing a lot kind of at once. Let's get rid of the shotgun troops for now. So let's show off this guy's attack. He'll do his shotgun repeatedly. You can see it does a ton of damage. He also damages himself as well. But he should fire a grenade. He doesn't really want to. Yeah, there's the grenade. Let's see, it spawns a bunch of gas. And a direct impact does a bunch of damage. As you can see, now if I get far away, there's this airstrike. So you can see, this is literally just a floating cacodemon head. And it rains down a bunch of missiles on you in various angles, directions, positions, whatever. You can see that's kind of what it looks like with IDDT. That's the pattern the missiles rain down on you. Most of the time, the missiles probably won't hit you, so it's not really that threatening. As you can see, I can just stand here and not take that much damage. And then this guy has a snipe attack, the summon attack. I'm gonna wait for him to do that. If he will attack me. No. I've already seen that. Yeah, there's the snipe attack. You can see it does like 20 damage to me. If I run forward as he's doing the snipe attack, I think it does more damage. And yeah, there's his summon attack as well. Come on. No. Snipe me. He doesn't want to snipe me. Snipe me. Buddy, what are you doing? He's just charging towards me. No! Oh my gosh, this guy's not being very cooperative. What's wrong with you? No! How are you doing that attack more often? Okay, well, he kind of did it. I want him to do it as I'm running towards him. I think it does more damage if I do it that way. So when he does a snipe attack, usually we should probably like run back instead of running forward, if possible. Okay, well, whatever. He's being really stubborn. We can kill him. We can see he travels like really far when I shoot him, and he gets stunned. Yeah, I can just stun him so easily. This guy's kind of trivial if you have like a chain gunner or something. So, yeah, that is Black Shotgunner. We can look at the Shotgunner troop now. Wait, that's the wrong one. Whoops. Black Shotgunner troop. You can see he does one shotgun attack. And he does grenade. You can see, yeah, he's just like kind of gliding when he's in his aggressive state. Didn't really get to see it all that well, but he was kind of in the same animation frame for like half a second there. Yeah, see, he's just sliding. It's kind of funny. And then he has his other chase states. I don't really feel like going through them. You can probably imagine them. They're just him going slower and him going faster. Alright, and that is Black Shotgunner. So now White Shotgunner. Oh boy, this is probably the most infamous boss in Colourful Hell. Benellus, the god of shotguns. You all probably know who he is if you've seen Colourful Hell before. Yeah, this boss is really tough. Yeah, I've heard this gives a lot of players trouble when they meet this boss, so... Alright, let's get into it. Benellus. No gravity, float bob. This float bob just means that the sprite will just move up and down. It'll just sort of like bob up and down. It doesn't actually affect any gameplay. It doesn't even affect the hitbox. It just looks like the sprite is just moving up and down. And then don't morph. Boss death. I don't think this boss death is necessary. We'll get to what this does later, but it doesn't really apply to this. It doesn't really add anything here. See invisible, so if you have like a partial invisibility, won't matter at all. No blood, which means no blood. It just spawns like bullet puffs instead. No fear, look all around, missile more, missile even more. So this guy is super, super, super aggressive. And the boss, of course, and then minus no radius damage. This guy is 5,000 HP, same as player X. It takes this here damage factor none, 75%. So what this means is that anything that does damage that doesn't have a specified damage type, like fire, plasma, melee damage, will do 75% damage compared to normal. So this is basically just like 75% resistance to everything, pretty much everything, unless otherwise specified. And I think it's extremely stupid. I don't like this whole damage factor none nonsense. There's other enemies in the mod that also have this sort of thing. But in my opinion, if you're just gonna do this, you may as well just give them this much HP instead. Like, that's pretty much exactly the same thing. And I did talk to Hedge about like why he did this, and he said that is because he wanted Benellus to be like immune to hit scan, which hit scan, while it doesn't have a direct damage type, it's not something you can really what's the word? It's not something you can really you can't really make enemies immune to hit scan. Like, since it's like the default damage type, you know, projectiles and all that are also gonna have that as well. And even if you just play Doom with like the vanilla weapons, you know, Doom is not implemented with damage types at all, so every single vanilla weapon is going to do 75% damage, not just hit scan. And it's just not really something you can do. Now, believe it or not, this actually used to be 0.5. Since like the previous update 1.01, it was 0.5. So this guy effectively had 10,000 health, which is absurd. Like, there's very few white enemies that have more than 10,000 health, honestly. White Revenant doesn't have 10,000 health. White Arachnotron is less than 10,000. Yeah, it was ridiculous. But yeah, I digress. Anyway, pain chance is 8, so this guy's pretty tough to stun. This guy's like a regular shotgun hitbox, 20 and 56, when the sprite is actually much larger than a regular shotgunner. So if you think this guy's annoying to hit, it's because he is. It's because his hitbox is smaller than his actual sprite. So yeah, mass is 400, speed and float speed is 28. 28 is pretty fast. Now, what float speed is basically it's basically just speed in the it's basically just vertical speed in the z-axis. So it's the speed whether it just him like traveling up or down, like, you know, like when a cacodemon is like trying to get to you, it will just like float down towards you until it gets to your height. That's what float speed is. Default is usually 4. But float speed being 28 means that like every time he calls a chase, you will just travel like 28 pixels downwards to get to you, or upwards, or whatever it is. Yeah, and then the sounds he makes are just like a bunch of shotgun and super shotgun noises. When he dies, he drops this SG burst here. We'll get to this later. He drops an invulnerability when he dies. Benellus is the only boss in the game that drops an invulnerability when it dies. It will drop all these shotgun shells, it will drop more shotgun shells, I guess. It will drop these modded items. It will drop a super shotgun, more super shotguns, and then this and this. Player never even had a chance against Benellus, God of Shotguns. Benellus, God of Shotguns. They really want you to know he's the God of Shotguns. Okay, so we can see here, Benellus, he has his announced script, he does. So let me summon Benellus. This guy's an X version too, by the way, I forgot to mention. Yeah, one of the worst bosses just has an X version. Beautiful. Yeah, Day of Reckoning is at hand. Benellus has arrived. You can see he's floating up and down with the float bob thing. And then I can... This is what his hitbox is. So you want to try not to aim for his head, because that's where his hitbox usually isn't. Anyway, this guy will try to see where you are every 5 frames when he's idle, and then when he sees you, he chases you every 2 frames. He has a 1 in 2 chance to go to this, where he does a bunch of fast chase movement, starts darting around in the air while also being extremely fast, so this guy becomes really hard to hit. This 128 C2, this guy, this is definitely an error, but yeah, he's supposed to go back here normally. A 1 in 2 chance to go back to the exact same state he would have already been in if he loops. So if he starts fast chasing, he'll just be stuck fast chasing until he attacks you. I honestly never knew that until now. This guy gets stunned. He has a 1 in 2 chance to do gifts. This is one of the attacks he does. And then this right here, this is just some Easter egg stuff, I guess, with if you have like another mod loaded. Plays like this shotgun song. Yeah, like an actual song, just with shotgun instruments for like 10 seconds. It's right here. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Otherwise, he has 3 different attacks he can do, all with equal chances. He uses like this normal shotgun spam attack. He gifts, which is just like throwing a bunch of bouncing shotguns everywhere, and then Punisher, which spawns like 2 shotguns next to you that will basically shoot you. So the gifts attack, he'll just immediately throw like 4 shotguns at you in various angles and directions. Punisher spawns this, which is 2 shotguns around you. We'll get to that later. And then the shotgun attack itself is like really complicated here, so every 6 frames has like this crazy accuracy that's like either super accurate or super inaccurate. Fires between 5 to 30 bullets, each doing 1 to 3 damage times 1 to 3. If you're farther than 1250 pixels away, he'll just go back to his C state to try to get closer to you. And then here he has more shotgun attacks. This time he's like accurate and fires 5 to 18 bullets that do 1 to 5 times 1 to 3 damage each. And he goes back and does this again, which is just the exact same as up here. But he just does a bunch of crazy shotgun stuff. And then when he dies, he spawns some explosions. He spawns a ton of shotguns. He does this quaking effect, and he has a 1 in 20 or so chance, a 24 in 256 chance to spawn this cactus here. This is like this is just like something silly, I guess, kind of like an Easter egg. So the shotgun mine that he throws travels at 20 speed, does 10 to 50 damage on direct impact, does fire damage, minus no gravity, bounces on walls, bounces on floors. At least I think it bounces on floors, I don't know. And then through ghost, so there's like enemies in Heretic are like classified as ghosts, and like certain, if you've played Heretic, you know that certain projectiles and stuff can go through ghosts. That's basically what this flag does. It makes it go through those ghosts. Gravity is 90%. Bounces 11 times until it will explode. this is just like the how much it bounces off, and then plays more shotgun noises. And then this here, it just the shotgun will just like constantly like change size as it's like being fired, and then it has a 6 in 256 chance to just die, to just explode in midair, and then a 1 in 8 chance to thrust itself in a different direction, similar to the gas grenade for Black Shotgunner. And then SG Burst, this basically just like spawns a ton of shotguns. It just does this. Yeah. Alright, and now, what else? We have the Shotgun Punisher nerfed. This will spawn 2 shotguns, Shotgun Punish Nerf and Shotgun Punish Nerf 2, on like opposite sides of the player. And what this does, it's a shotgun, it has 300 health, it's classified as a monster. It counts as a kill. I know this Shotgun Punish 2 doesn't count as a kill. This is part of Benellus X, but the nerfed version is part of Benellus. And interestingly enough, the nerfed version actually counts as a kill. I think that's just like an oversight. Back when I put out like a list of stuff that counted as kills that shouldn't, and told Hedge about it, and I don't think he changed this to not count as kill. But basically this guy has 300 health, speed 1, that doesn't really matter. When it spawns in, there's like this negative X scale factor here that basically like flips the sprite horizontally. But the shotgun, it just, does some scaling stuff, and then it shoots. It does a 7 horizontal accuracy, 5 vertical accuracy, 5 degrees. 1 to 7 bullets that do 1 to 5 times 1 to 3 damage, and then it just immediately explodes afterwards. It does 5 to 15 damage with 64 pixel radius 3 times, and that is Shotgun Punish Nerf 2. Shotgun Punish Nerf 1 I think is just exactly the same, except the sprite is not flipped. So the shotgun attack is exactly the same. Scaling looks to be exactly the same, except it's not flipped. Though interestingly, Shotgun Punish Nerf takes 6 frames longer to fire than Shotgun Punish Nerf 2, which is something I never really noticed until now. But yeah, that is Benellus. Now we'll review him in HD 4K quality. That's his complicated shotgun attack there. You can see he's very inaccurate, or he can like hit you instantly. He'll basically just do this forever until like you get stunned. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. He'll just do this forever until he gets stunned, or until you get too far away, as you can see. And then he has his mines, and then he has his Punisher attack. Can you stop doing that for once? Yeah, that's the Punisher attack, that's the mines attack. So these shotguns each have 300 HP. You can shoot them. That will make them explode immediately. So that's kind of hard to do right away before it shoots you. 300 is kind of a lot of damage to do unless you have powerful weapons. And you have to do it like instantly too to get them out of the way. And then yeah, it shoots you and he does his Punisher attack. Something you want to avoid. And then you saw he did his mines. If I can get him to stop firing. Okay, do your mines. No. dude. Oh my goodness. I've already seen that. Work with me, Benellus. You're the god of shotguns, but you're not exactly the god of being cooperative. Okay, there is his shotguns, his shotgun mines. So they just bounce around. Does a bunch of damage if they hit you. I don't know how yeah. So that attack can be really, really deadly if you're like in a cramped room. So you kind of want to fight this guy out in the open. I think that's the best way of handling this guy. If he does a shotgun attack, just hide behind a wall for a while. And then the shotgun punish nerfs, you can just like run away as he's spawning shotguns around you, and you won't take much damage at all. And then when he dies, yeah, that's what it looks like. He drops an invulnerability, he drops tons of shotguns. That is White Shotgunner. Now, White Shotgunner X is arguably probably the toughest enemy in Colourful Hell. May even be more tougher than White Cyber Demon. This guy is ridiculously overpowered. As if, you know, Benellus isn't overpowered enough, the X version is even more overpowered. So right off the bat, you can tell 12,537 health. That is 2.5 times the amount of health that Benellus has. Additionally, with this, which this guy effectively has 16,716 health. Which, yeah, that is absurd. There's an absurd amount of health for an enemy that is super duper super uber fast and flies everywhere, that is super duper uber aggressive. Yet this guy it's insane. Like, I know it's White Shotgunner and White Shotgunner X. I know they're supposed to be hard mode bosses, but geez, it's like, it's almost unfair at this point. It's a shotgunner. It should be one of the weaker white bosses, but no. For some reason, he's just this powerful. And like, I know Benellus is like a meme enemy and whatnot, but like, he doesn't have to be this strong to be a meme enemy, man. He doesn't have to be this. Like, he would already be iconic if he wasn't this powerful. But anyway, I digress. I have plenty of other time to rant about this at some point later. Takes double damage from radius, which is interesting. Yeah, 2 times damage from fire, 25% damage from plasma, twice damage from melee. I think this is pretty much the same as regular Benellus. I don't think I actually covered these. Same hitbox, pain chance is 14. This guy actually gets stunned easier than regular Benellus. That's interesting. Speed is 31, float speed is 31. Normally it's 28 for regular Benellus. This guy is also 25% larger as well. So his hitbox really isn't where his sprite is. So yeah, I'm just going straight through his head. That's what his hitbox is like. Yeah. Pretty crazy. He drops pretty much the same stuff when he dies. In fact, he might actually drop a little bit less, actually, I'm not sure. Slater never even had a chance against more seriously fighting Benellus, God of Shotguns. Benellus, God of Shotguns, Angrier. So this guy is basically just like Benellus, but he fights you more seriously. And for some reason he's scaled larger as well, so who knows if it's even the same Benellus. And then, yeah, announce Day of Reckoning, a chill runs down your spine. This guy chases you every 2 frames. Yeah, I think it's every 2 frames normally. Once again, we have this, where it will do its fast chase, and then this is just stuck in fast chase for some reason. Usually it's supposed to go back here, as I said. When it gets stunned, it has a 1 in 2 chance to do this weird wandering movement, which you probably won't really notice. This guy also spawns a shotgun shrine when it gets stunned as well. Or a shotgun shrine with 176 fail chance, so that's probably like a 1 in 3 chance when you stun him, he'll summon a shotgun shrine. And if you are 1500 pixels or closer, you go here. What is here? 4 different attacks. Who do his regular shotgun attacks, who do his shotgun mines, new attack, focused fire, and shotgun rounded. Otherwise, if you are farther, he will have a 1 in 2 chance to do his focused hit scan. Otherwise, he'll go to shotgun rounded. So this shotgun rounded attack, what is this attack? Yeah, it just summons shotgun shrines, 2 shotgun shrines, and also a shotgun punisher as well. And a 1 in 4 chance, actually, before doing that, it just shotgun shrines. Okay, so he has a 1 in 4 chance for Shotgun Punisher 2, and a 3 in 4 chance for Shotgun Punisher 1. And then 2 Shotgun Shrines. These are exactly the same. Very interesting. Wonder what the difference between these two are. The focused hit scan is... it would do like this really, really accurate hit scan. As you can see, 1 vertical accuracy and horizontal accuracy, a 1 degree cone, 5 to 20 bullets that do 1 to 6 times 1 to 3 damage, and who do all of that 7 times. So you can expect that to do just like a bazillion damage to you if you're far away. So, I mean, I think it's pretty unfair, to be honest. I think it should be a slightly less accurate, like maybe 3 degrees. But yeah, and then the focused fire. Have we went over how he goes to the focused fire? Oh yeah, no, that's just here. His focused fire, he'll spawn like a bunch of these like sparks. These are just like particles, I guess. I mean, these are projectiles, but they're being spawned as particles, so it's pretty weird. Yeah, he'll go through all this, 7 frames, every frame, he'll fire one of these spark fire bends at you for 7 frames, 14, 56 frames, 56 projectiles here, 224 projectiles in total for, he'll basically just be firing at you for like maybe 10 seconds or so. So this adds up to be like a really long time of him firing at you. You can usually like circle strafe it though. These are just like regular projectiles. Not too bad, not too difficult, this attack. And then the gifts, he does the 4 mines as usual, except he doesn't have like the 16 frame wind up time before he does it. And then the shotgun attack, I believe, is like the same as regular Benellus, except he'll fire every 4 frames here instead of every 5 frames? No, 6 frames. So this guy fires 50% faster when he uses this shotgun attack here. And then the death is pretty much the same, except he drops a cactus half the time instead of like a 10th of the time or whatever it is. Okay, so the shotgun shrine it summons. Speed 800 health. No trigger. I forget what this flag does. Missile more. Missile even more. This guy's super aggressive. 3 species. Don't harm class, don't harm species. No target switch, and no clip. Yeah, this guy can go through walls. When the shotgun shrine dies, it drops shotgun shell and a bunch of shotguns. and it'll just kind of chase you for a little bit, and then eventually you'll start firing at you. It will just fire this, just this. Every frame will fire Spark Fire Ben. It will just this big laser of bullets at you. This guy actually damages itself as it's firing at you, so he can just fire at you for a while, and eventually he'll just lose all his health, and it'll just explode and go down here. Otherwise, you can shoot at him, and you can kill him. But this guy has, look at this, he's such a super small hitbox. Radius is 12, that's less than a Lost Soul, less than the player hitbox. Height is 12, which is like so tiny. So if you shoot at this guy, you have to be shooting at the ground basically. I don't know why. You can shoot at him, it's just not very effective. But yeah, the shotgun shrine eventually explodes. It does 5 to 15 damage, 128 pixel radius 3 different times, and it will spawn 2 mine shotguns as well when it explodes. And then this shotgun punish, I believe is the same as shotgun punish nerf, except I think it does more damage. Oh, and it also looks like this is a little bit faster here as well. Yeah, it's faster. The bullet is same accuracy, but it does 3 to 10 bullets instead of 1 to 7, and 1 to 6 times 1 to 3 damage instead of 1 to 5 times 1 to 3. And then the explosion damage is the same as Shotgun Punish nerf. And then Shotgun Punisher, I forgot to mention, this just spawns Shotgun Punish and Shotgun Punish 2. But yeah, these two are, and then Shotgun Punish 2 is just Shotgun Punish, but with a flipped sprite, as far as I am aware. And then, yeah, Spark Shield Ben. Wait, where does he spawn Spark Shield Ben? Oh, here. Alright. I think this is just like a particle he spawns. It doesn't really do anything. It just looks like a bullet puff sprite. And then Spark Firebend, speed 55, which is really fast. Fast speed is 80, which is even faster. So if you're on fast monsters, it travels faster. Each of these things do 6 to 12 damage, so 9 damage on average. That'll add up really fast if it's being fired every frame. So, yeah. And then it spawns a bunch of particles as well. So now let's go and review this dude. Arguably the most powerful enemy in the mod. Oh yeah, and he also spawns a bunch of bullet puff particles as he's like moving as well. So you can see he's doing this shotgun attack faster than normal Benellus does. Okay, now do some other attacks. There's the mines. And I'm really not used to doing these long commentary videos. My throat gets like really sore really quickly. Yeah, that's the what was that attack called? The whatever, you know what it is. That's the projectiles. They all fire like straight ahead as well. So if this guy's like high in the air and he does that attack, it will just all go like straight over your head. So here's like the shotgun mines. Yeah, that does a ton of damage when it fires every frame. So like some of it goes over your head, some of it doesn't. That attack just isn't really that effective, I guess. And then the shotgun shrines. It's pretty crazy. And if you can see that they are damaging themselves over time. That's how they go away. And yeah, you can shoot at them. Like I said, their hitbox is super tiny. Probably not worth doing. You probably just run away. Everything with this guy, you probably just run away. So like, I can try to shoot these guys. You can see I spawn. There's like those blood particles that spawn. The shotgun shrines don't actually have the no blood flag, which is interesting. So it just looks like the shotguns are bleeding, which, you know, maybe not fantastic or anything. So I think I can do his faraway attacks. Yeah, there's his attack where he does the shotguns and the shotgun shrines. Yeah, those do a ton of damage. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's the focused fire attack that just insta-kills you. Let me see if I can do it again, get a better look at it. So my goodness, that is overpowered. I'm at full 200 health and armor. Let's see him do the focused fire attack. No, he's spawning more shrines. There's like 12 shotgun shrines right now. No, he's doing this attack. This lasts forever. If you hide behind a wall, I don't think he stops doing it. Those shotguns do a ton of damage now. that cannot be, man. That cannot. That needs to be changed. I'm sorry, Hedge Cactus. That needs to be changed. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. No, I don't like that attack. That is insta-kill. No. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can imagine why this guy is not exactly the most fun enemy to encounter. Yeah, that is Benellus. That's enough said. Let's just move on. Alright, guess what time it is? It's time for the optionals. We got Brown Shotgunner, 155 health, 110 mass, 9 speed, 102 pain chance. Floor clip, don't harm species, no fear, interestingly enough. We got the quake sounds, the same as the red shotgunner uses. Player got mud shotted by Brown Shotgunner, which is interesting because this guy doesn't actually shoot mud. Muddy guy. He drops a shotgun, he drops some shotgun shells, health bundle, and an armor bonus half of the time. This makes him look brown. We got the quad shotgun zombie sprites. Pretty standard C state here, except it spawns dirt as it walks. The attack, if you are 400 pixels closer, it will go to fire 1, which is here. It will basically fire at you, and then it will spawn all these projectiles here. And we'll get to what those do. Otherwise, it will... what does this do? Jump if in the target's line of sight. I don't know, some extra check that makes it does this attack. But otherwise it will go to this get closer thing. It plays like this gas sound, same as Purple Shotgunner. It will charge at you like a Lost Soul at 28, which Lost Soul goes at 20, so this is faster. And it will spawn a bunch of dirt as it's charging towards you. And then it will just stop after 15 frames, it will just stop charging, and then it will try to fire at you again and set its speed to 9. Abyss Pain Elemental thing. Yeah, this is all pretty standard. The actual Brown Shotgun shot travels at 64 speed, which is very fast. Does 1 to 5 damage, average 3. Don't Blast. What was Don't Blast do? I think is probably like a Hexen flag that like relates to like the disc of repulsion or something, where it like doesn't affect stuff. I don't know why it would be used on projectile. Don't Thrust I think is pretty similar. Yeah, and then when this projectile hits you, it does 1 to 5 damage, and then 6 frames after it hits you, it just kind of blasts you away. 128 strength, 32 radius if you're 32 pixels within the projectile when it hits, and it blasts you at 20. So we can go check that out, I guess, right now. Summon Brown Shotgunner. You can see it blasts you away. It didn't do it that time or that time. That's interesting. yeah, this guy kind of blasts you away, and then when you get far away, it will charge at you, and then it will stop 15 frames later. Why are you doing that attack? Bro. Huh? Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, there, he did it. So we can kill him, he dies. We can give him, he also dies. That is Brown Shotgunner. So now we got Cyan Shotgunner. Cyan Shotgunner has 60 health. Thankfully, because all the other optional Shotgunner variants have way more than 60 health. Same hitbox, speed 8, pain chance 128, mass is 4,000, which is like ridiculously high for some reason. Takes 50% extra damage from fire, double damage from melee, 10% damage from ice, all this stuff. It is black blood for some reason. Floor clip, no ice death, missile more, no fear, lacks tail frag damage. We have the Z spec up noises. Player was frostbitten by Cyan Shotgunner, drops a shotgun, an armor bundle about 20th of the time, and a health bundle about 2/3 of the time. Translation, which makes it look Cyan Shotgun dude. It has a very, very, very high chance of going here, which just makes it, if it's in target's line of sight, it'll just jump around here, and then we got the Cyan optional thing here that makes it whether or not they jump around or not. There's a new option as of 1.01 where you can have that setting on. But it'll probably just like jump around here, most likely. And then we have this. He chases you every 1 frame, which is really fast. So he's going to be really aggressive combined with this flag. And then, yeah, he'll either go to this or that, or this. He just starts doing this fast chase movement. His attack, he has 2 attacks. He has half a chance to go to the projectile attack, where he summons 5 ice zombie shots. I think it's the same as, what is the Cyan zombie shot, actually? I think it's just the normal one. There's like 2 of these. Yeah, the ice zombie shot 2, I remember we went through this. So he'll fire 5 of these. Where is it? 5 of these. He also does like this bullet attack as well for some reason. He fires 1 bullet that does 1 to 6 damage times 1 to 3. I don't know what this -2 is. I don't know why it's negative. 8,000. This means it has like a really far range that he can do it. Not this one though, which is interesting. Yeah, that's his projectiles. He has a 2 in 5 chance to just attack again. Same here. This, he fires 5 bullets at you, all with very, very different accuracies. 1, 1, 2 bullets here. 1, 1, so he fires 6 bullets. They all do 1, 5, 1, 4, 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 5. All of these numbers times 1 through 3. And then we have more jump here. We have pain, where it can go to jump 3 in 8 chance, and then when it dies, it drops Cyrano, 128th of the time. So very rare. It's just like this doll. This is the Cyan Shotgunner bullet buff. I don't know why it's down here, but it plays like an ice noise and it spawns cyan particles. I forgot to mention that. Alright, so if we summon Cyan Shotgunner, that's not Cyan Shotgunner. If we summon Cyan Shotgunner, that's a lot of particles. That's a lot of icons. Yeah, he has this projectile attack that he does. Otherwise, he fires his actual cyan bullets at you, which just spawn more cyan particles. Projectiles do a bunch of damage. The hit scan doesn't seem to be doing as much damage. This guy jumps around really fast. I actually have my cyan option turned off right now, so if I turn on cyan jumpiness. Yeah, he's gonna start jumping in the air. I usually have it off though, because it's very annoying. So that's Cyan Shotgunner. Gray Shotgunner, 155 health, speed 8, pain chance 150, mass 110, floor clip, avoid melee, missile more, no fear. We got the, what sounds are these? I think these are like the regular Doom 64 noises. One shot, player kill. Guys, do you think Hedge Cactus knows about the game One Shot? This is a really good game, by the way. Anyway, shotgun, yeah, 2 shotgun shells and a box of clips, which is interesting. Health bonus, 2 health bonuses that have half a chance, and an armor bonus that has half a chance. We got the sniper, and then the translation. If this guy is 800 pixels closer, it will do this. Otherwise, it will go here to get ready. The regular snipe attack is extremely accurate, -1 to 1. It fires 1 to 2 bullets, actually, so you can just hit you with 2 bullets instead of 1. That do 1 to 9 times 1 to 3 damage each. So it can be up to 54 damage, man. And then this get ready, he basically just like crouches down, and just like it just looks like really weird. He does this, and then he goes back here. Then how does he get here? Oh yeah, if he goes back here again, he will do this, which is basically just like he just targets you with like a bunch of non-damaging railgun attacks. Like you'll have like these red particles, like the line of red particles that show up. He'll do that for a while, and then he'll snipe you with perfect accuracy. He fires 1 bullet that does between 5 to 20 damage, so that can do up to 60 damage. And he'll repeatedly do this as well until you like hide or something. And then yeah, that's Gray Shotgunner. And then when he gets gibbed, interestingly, he uses the purple Shotgunner sprite, so he is like purple gibs. But he spawns red particles. It's really strange. This is the bullet puff that he uses, and it's a bullet puff. So we summon in Gray Shotgunner here. You can see he doesn't look that gray. He looks like kind of like I guess he's gray. But yeah, he's sniping me. He's kind of hitting me every time. That's kind of how snipers work. If you didn't know what sniping was, he hit me with 2 bullets there. So he starts crouching down. It looks really weird. I actually got him to do his far away attack. If you get closer to him, he'll still do his far away attack for some reason. I don't know why that is. Yeah, he'll just keep doing this over and over until you like hide. Okay, but why are you still doing this? Does he just keep doing this even when you're hidden? I think he does. Whoa. Okay, whatever. Let's get him to do that, then let's not have him. Get a better look at his crouch sprite and how strange it looks. But then when he dies, he just goes back to normal, so not too bad. Oh yeah, I forgot to show off Gray Shotgunner's gib here. He just has purple gibs. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's Gray Shotgunner. Abyss Shotgunner has 300 health. It has 13 speed. It has a pain chance of 168, which is a lot actually. I'm surprised how much pain chance he has. Floor clip, missile more, no fear. Plays the Doom 64 noises. Uses the auto shotgunner firing sound when it fires at you. Player was molded to a blue cheese by Chef Abyss Shotgunner. I think it's supposed to be Chief Abyss Shotgunner. We have a shotgun shell, another one that's a 1 and 4, a box of shells that's a 1 and 2, 2 health bonuses, green armor that's about a little more than one, like a 2 and 7, I guess. A health bundle, shotgun, another shotgun half the time. Shotgun of the Abyss translation, and then the C state chases you over 3 frames. Doesn't have any weird movement. The attack, though, has a lot of weird movement. So if you're 800 pixels closer, he'll go here, just like his regular attack. Otherwise, he'll fire these at you. Which I don't remember what these are exactly. I think they're like I think they're part of Abyss Chain Gunner, maybe. I could be wrong though. He'll like fire 3 of these at you between -2 and 2 degrees. Otherwise, he'll do like his shotgun attack where he does 3 shotgun attacks, all with 6 and 7 accuracy. Fires between 2 to 4 bullets that do 1 to 3 damage. And then these are between 2 and 6 damage, so this does half damage for some reason. And he'll fire at you, and he'll also spawn a bunch of these Splash Abyss things on the ground as well for you to step on. He'll spawn even more of them here. He'll also just jump around as well when he does it as well. And when he gets stunned, he'll go here, he'll turn on the no pain flag so you can no longer stun him. I guess that's why he has a high pain chance. Though if you keep stunning him before he has a chance to go here, then he won't. You can just keep stunning him before he turns on the no pain flag. And also it says speed to 21 instead of 13, so it'll just become much faster. And then when he gets skipped, he spawns black particles. So that's basically Abyss Shotgunner. Alright, now let's summon in Abyss Shotgunner. That's not Abyss Shotgunner. Abyss Shotgunner. Oh my goodness. I said Abyss Shotgunner. Here we are. So yeah, he has this attack where he fires a shotgun at you and jumps around everywhere. It does damage. You know, typical attack. Now if I get far away, he's gonna start firing the far range projectiles. As you can see, he fires 3 of those. I think it's the same as Abyss Chain Gunner, as I said, but yeah. Nothing really else noteworthy. If I stun him, he's not going to be able to get stunned again, and he's also going to be faster. And if I give him, he gets gibbed. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now Fireblu Shotgunner. This is probably my least favorite shotgunner, least favorite optional shotgunner at least. Benellus is probably my least favorite. Has 225 health. It used to be 250 actually. 225 is still way too much. Speed is 12, mass is 5,000, which is a lot. 110 pain chance. Floor clip, missile more, no fear, don't harm class. We got the quake noises, the shotgunner noises. The player got flamed by Fireblu Shotgunner, dropped a super shotgun about 2/7 of the time, a box of shells half the time, box of shells half the time, shotgun shell, another shotgun shell half the time, health bonuses, armor bundle 1/4 of the time, a green armor bundle 1/8 of the time, and a health bundle about half the time. So this is a gun guy with skin condition, and yeah, he is Fireblue. So he chases you every 4 frames. His attack, he just throws like 5 of these fire things at you, and just has like a spread attack where he does this. Nothing too special. But these actually do like a ton of damage though, so don't underestimate this. Everything else looks pretty normal though. So the fire he fires travels at 21 speed, 26 on fast monsters. It does between 5 to 15 damage on direct impact, but I mean it has through actors, so it just goes through you. So this doesn't really matter. It does fire damage. This is basically the Archvile fire sprite, but it looks fire blue instead. After 4 frames, it will explode for 3 to 15 damage with 64 pixel radius. It will do that 8 times, and then 3 more times. Actually, this can just be combined. These 2 lines can just be combined together. So it will just do 9 damage on average around 11 times. And 5 of those, that adds up to be a lot of damage. And also, if it's traveling in the air and it's in this death state already, if it hits a wall, it would just go back to doing up here, so it could explode even more than 11 times. It's hard to explain, but like as the projectile is traveling through the air, it just like resets back to the death state. So yeah, it does a lot of damage. So if we summon Fireblu Shotgunner, there's the Fireblu thing. So it does the fire. So it doesn't do too much damage if you're just standing not against a wall or anything. I mean, I guess it still does a bunch of damage. Who am I kidding? But look, if I'm at this wall right here and he does it, look how much damage it is. That is a Cyber Demon Rocket level of damage. That killed me at 200. Yep, that's pretty absurd. This guy has a ton of health too. Yeah, don't mess with that guy. And then of course, he gets gibbed, as usual. Okay, so that is, I believe, that is everything for Colourful Hell. Now we have to move on to the changes for Colourful Hell Plus. So I have this whole laundry list of where is it? Here. All of these changes I have to go through here. So the Shotgunner changes have not updated health values to 1.02. This is all within the 3.0.1 version of Colourful Hell Plus. The health values are not updated, so Green Shotgunner still has 50 health, this guy still has 62, and so on and so forth. SG Lance and SG Lance 5 does less damage. Let me go check this out. So this does between 1 to 1, not affected by strife damage, and SG Lance 5 does, what does it do? It does between 1 to 1 damage. Now how is that different from Blue Shotgunner? I forget. SG Lance 5 just does 1, so this is between 1 to 8 instead of 1 to 1 here. Or, yeah, 1 to 1. And then SG Lance 1 is a 1 to 4 instead of 1 to 1. And SG Lance 2 fires SG Lance 4 instead of SG Lance 3 because since in normal Colourful Hell it fires SG Lance 2, or it fires SG Lance 3, and then SG Lance 3 fires SG Lance 4. So it has like 3 of these, but this has 2 of these, and yeah, I think it just makes it do even less damage as well. Purple Shotgunner fires twice as slow, so as we can see here, it'll fire one of these purple fires every 6 frames. Every 3 frames it'll face you, every 3 frames it'll fire. That makes every 6 frames. And then here, you can see it's 2-1-2-1-2-1 instead of 3-3-3-3-3. And that's just kind of like to make him do, you know, less damage per second, to make him a little less overpowered. Purple fire doesn't damage Purple Shotgunner as well. So let me go see where the purple fire is. You can see that there's like this 0 here in front of the fire. This 0 is like the explosion flags. It makes it so that it doesn't take damage from its own fire. And down here there is no 0, so it does take damage from its own fire. So Purple Shotgunner, I mean, if we're just here, and I turn God mode on. Oh wait, no, it doesn't damage himself anyway. That's interesting. Oh well, learn something new every day, I guess. What other changes? Yellow Shotgunner sprite. So, right, let's go over the sprites for Colourful Hell Plus now. Now's a good time. So Yellow Shotgunner, as we know, has this brownish looking sprite in Colourful Hell. But in Colourful Plus, you can see the Shotgunners has a more yellowish looking sprite. You can see the comparison. This is a little bit brighter than this is. So compare and contrast, there you go. And I'll also look through the other sprites as well. This is what the red Shotgunner sprite should look like. I'm not sure why it is looking green here, probably because of the palette I have on, but this is what it should look like. Black Shotgunner is very different. Black Shotgunner actually looks like a Black Shotgunner here. I think this is the old Black Shotgunner translation. Let me just double check. This is the crew commander. This is the crew commander again. Wait. Am I crazy? I think I'm crazy. You know what? This might be the this might be what the troop translation is actually. I'm freaking out right now. But yeah, this is what Black Shotgunner looks like. He's not dark purple anymore, and I think the regular shotgun troops also just look normal as well. This isn't what the Black Shotgunner. Never mind. Let's move on. This Shotgunner might be a bit brighter. I'm not too sure. Brown Shotgunner is the same. Cyan Shotgunner is a little different because, you know, palette restrictions. Fireblu Shotgunner, then Gray Shotgunner. Gray Shotgunner doesn't have purple gibs, I don't think. He's like this actual, yeah, gray gib animation here. So those are the Shotgunner sprites. That was pretty quick. And you'll notice like the Benellus sprites were missing because, you know, I didn't change the Benellus sprites. They're just the ones used from here in regular Colourful Hell. Alright, what other changes? Shotgunners over 100 HP can be gibbed easier. Right, so, you know, enemies like Red Shotgunner here have the gib states. That means they can enter their gib state if they have negative 150 health or less, but all enemies with over 100 HP set the cap at negative 100, so they get gibbed if they have negative 100 or less instead of 150, so you can give them easier, basically. And then Black Shotgunner sprite and transparency, we went over that. I think Black Shotgunner, yeah, Black Shotgunner doesn't have a transparent sprite like the crew commander doesn't have a transparent sprite like in normal Colourful Hell. 2,450 HP instead of 1950. So big health buff. Pain chance is reduced from 96 to 40 to make them a little bit more difficult, but not for the troops. 2 Black Shotgun troops are optional, so there's a setting in Colourful Hell Plus where you can like turn on and off lackey enemies, which basically are enemies that spawn like with the enemy when they first spawn in the level. So like you may know Red Hell Knight has all these blue imp minions that it spawns. Those are basically lackey enemies. There's a setting in Colourful Hell Plus that can disable those, so you can disable the 2 initial Black Shotgunner troops that spawn at the beginning of the level if you wish. The troops are transparent. Let me go see. So the troops, you can see here, alpha 0.65, so they're a little bit see-through. Yeah. Shotgun troops do not slide, and they warp to their leader less. So you can see this aggressive C state has been fixed. Jump 32-2, this basically brings it down here, and it will actually go all the way down here and not look like it's sliding. And also warps to its leader less, it just has less of these. You saw this was like in the aggressive C state, but now it's just here, I guess. Benellus has no resistance and is less aggressive. So yeah, Benellus got a lot of changes here. Damage factor none is 1. That means it takes full damage from most attacks. Minus missile even more, so less aggressive. New hitbox, so When Benellus spawns in, it checks if it has enough room to change its hitbox, and if it does have enough room, it will change its hitbox to be a radius of 30 instead of 20, and a height of 64 instead of 56. And it also does this in its C state as well, so it would just makes them that much easier to hit. One thing I've noticed, something I need to fix, I applied this to Benellus X, but I didn't put this in the C state as well. So it only checks like right as he spawns in, but then it never checks ever again. So that's something I need to fix for the next version of Plus. Shotgun punishers don't count as kills and don't bleed. So if we go to the shotgun punishers, you can see minus count kill and plus no blood. Benellus X has no resistance and less aggressive and less health. So you can see minus missile even more. These two are the same as regular Benellus, but he has a lot less health. He has 4,000 less health. Now I actually tested this version of White Shotgunner X, and even with all these nerfs, with the less health, with the less aggressiveness, with the increased damage, he was still more difficult from what I remember than White Lost Soul X, the only other White X enemy in Colourful Hell, outside of Plus. I remember he was still more difficult than him, so yeah, it just goes to show how powerful White Shotgunner X is, really. Yeah, new hitbox, as I've talked about. He has different attacks from far away, so let me see. So if you're farther than 1500 pixels, he has a 2 in 3 chance to go to focused hit scan. Otherwise, he will do focused fire and shotgun rounded. Focused hit scan is just the the accurate attack. And focused hit scan is less accurate but with longer range. So you can see these are 3-degree cones instead of 1 degree, but it has 8,000 pixel range, so it will usually hit you if you are far away. Focused fire goes on for a few seconds less, so as you can see here, it goes through all this. We have like these 2 big paragraphs, 2 big chunks of stuff, whatever you want to call it, and then White Shotgunner X has 4 of these, so it does it for half as long. Shotgun Shrines have a bigger hitbox and don't bleed. I did talk about this earlier. But yeah, radius 30 instead of 12, height 64 instead of 12, huge difference. And then no blood, obviously. Fires in short bursts and damages itself faster, so we can see it damages 80 health instead of 50, so it'll go through here 10 times instead of 16. And it fires in short bursts, so it'll just loop here. It'll do all this, and then it'll face you for like 13 frames, and then fires a bit more. Meanwhile, in Colourful Hell, it just it'll just wait 1 frame before firing again. So this will just fire constantly, but this will actually face you before firing again. Shotgun punishers don't bleed. I think that was an issue, but I guess it was resolved in Plus. Brown Shotgunner gets a big health nerf. 90 health instead of 155. Used to be 175, so that's like almost half as much health. And can fire at a farther range, so this is 500. If you're 500 pixels or closer, it'll fire at you compared to 400 pixels, as you can see. The charge is different, so the way it works now is it will will charge at you for 24 instead of 28, and it will just immediately go to its C state, so it can, you know, keep chasing you while floating towards you, similar to how Purple Shotgunner is. And then Brown Shotgunner shots will blast you immediately instead of waiting 6 frames here. It will blast you immediately. And it'll also blast you like while it's in the air, I guess, as well, which is interesting. Fireblu Shotgunner has a huge health nerf at 111 instead of 225. Used to be 250. That is less than half the health. That is a huge nerf. And then the fire works differently as well. It actually is buffed, I think, for some reason. But it will just continue to travel until it hits a wall. That's how the fire works, I believe. And then the Gray Shotgunner also has a big health nerf from 155 to 100. It has gray blood instead of red, and the snipe attack works a little bit differently. So you can see here, 1 degree of horizontal accuracy, 0 perfect vertical accuracy. Let me go get a comparison real quick. And then it fires 1 bullet instead of between 1 to 2, and it does between 5 to 20 damage times 1 to 3. And this is exactly the same as this as well. Now this fire 2 is also missing all the red railgun particles as well. No railgun particles. The crouch sprite scaling is also different. So I guess it looks a little less weird, I guess. And then, yeah, that is, wait, it says the crouch firing attack is also different. Let me see how. Oh yeah, it's not perfectly accurate anymore, of course. Has this 1 degree cone here. But yeah, that is all the Colourful Hell Plus changes. Now we're going to move on to Explosive Shotgunner and then wrap it up. So, Explosive Shotgunner, the random spawners here has him spawn 64, so slightly more common than Gray Shotgunner and Brown Shotgunner, but a lot less common than Cyan Shotgunner, which is really common. Explosive Shotgunner is 64 health, speed 8, paint chance 120. It takes 1.8 damage from ice and 20% damage from fire. We have floor clip, missile more, missile even more, so this guy is super aggressive. Plays the Doom 64 shotgunner noises, drops a health bundle, a health bonus, armor bundle half the time, a shotgun, a box of rockets a 16th of the time, a medkit half the time, and a rocket launcher an 1/8 of the time. Player was shamelessly rocketed by Ronald McDonald, and as you can see, Ronald McDonald with a rocket launcher, because his sprite looks a lot like Ronald McDonald in my opinion. That's why I called him that. So the explosive icons, the C state, this was actually removed in like a previous explosive tier update, but basically he could just like jump in the air when you're not when you're not around him, he can just jump in the air. We'll get to that. But he can do some fast chase movement as well. And he goes back here. So now the attack when he jumps in the air, he'll play like the rocket firing noise, jump in the air. If the vertical velocity is 0, he'll go to the BAM. But he won't check this until he's already traveling downward. So yeah, basically he just jumps in the air, and then when he lands, he has like this huge explosion that has like a ton of damage. Otherwise, he can attack you normally. He'll either rocket or shoot it. The rocket is where he fires a bruiser missile. This is part of Black Hell Knight, I think. It's basically just like a Cybruiser rocket, if you know that custom enemy. It has a 1 in 3 chance to fire another rocket. Otherwise, it has a 1 in whatever chance, 20 out of 256 to jump in the air. And then the shoot it fires 7 missiles with 11 with a 22 degree cone, I think. It's not too accurate, I guess. Between -11 and +11 degrees. It'll fire 7 of these pellets at you, and has a 1 in 3 chance to do it again. Otherwise, a 20 in 256 chance to jump in the air. When it gets stunned, it is incredibly likely for it to attack you as it gets stunned. Otherwise, it can jump in the air when it gets stunned too. And then when it gets gibbed, it spawns a bunch of explosions as well. So you can see Big Bam SG is the explosion when it lands on the ground as it jumps in the air. It does 256 damage with 256 pixel radius, which is a lot for both of these. It has this big quaking effect as well. Spawns all these other explosions and particles and whatnot, as seen here. And then the pellet it fires travels at 60 speed, which is pretty fast. It does between 4 to 8 damage on direct impact. It plays the rocket explosion sounds when it hits you. And more particles here. And it also explodes for 4 to 8 damage 3 times with a 32 pixel radius. So 6, 18. You can expect each pellet to do like 24 damage on average if you take full explosion damage. So let's go look at Explosive Shotgunner. Actually, oh god, I don't have the add-on loaded. Hang on, I'll be back in a moment. Alright, I am back. Summon Explosive Shotgunner. That's not Explosive Shotgunner. Oh, here we go. So we can see he kind of looks like Ronald McDonald. At least I think so. There's his shoot it attack, where he shoots it and then he rocks it. He rocks it as well with his rockets. You can freeze. This is what the bullet particles look like before they explode. And they can hit you. They do damage. There's the rocket, which does also a ton of damage. You can see he's very aggressive. I actually really like how the shoot it attack turned out. That's probably like, out of all explosive tier, I would say that is probably like my favorite attack I've done. Out of like literally every attack of every enemy. Like, I don't know why. Something about it just seems like so charming, I guess. But anyway, yeah, we can stun it. It'll probably like jump in the air or fire at you. As you can see, is immediately retaliating back. Like, you really did not want to jump in the air at all. You know what? Let's do this. This is easier. So yeah, the attack does a lot of damage up close. Oh, there he is. So he jumps in the air, and then when he lands, he will spawn a huge explosion. What? Okay, well, he went out of view for some reason. Alright, well, I gotta have him do it again, obviously. I mean, he really is not cooperating with me. He keeps attacking again instead of doing the jump attack, which is really annoying. Yeah, he doesn't do this attack too often. He used to do it like automatically when you were in his line of sight, but not anymore. So he jumps in the air, and then when he lands, he'll spawn this huge explosion. Let me get a good look at it. Yeah, and that does a ton of damage as well. So stay away from him when he does that. And it also does kill other zombies as well, so you can just clean up the whole room for you. But yeah, that is Explosive Shotgunner. That is everything for the shotgunners that I want to review. Thank you all for watching, and yeah, I'll continue to do the series. I'll do the Imps, Chain Gunners, Lost Souls, Demons, Specters, Revenants, Cacos, Pain Elementals, Hell Knights, Arachnos, Mancubus, Arch, Baron, Mind, Cyber Demons. I'll do all those. Yeah, stay tuned. This will be a good series, and I will see you all in the next one. So peace, take care. Yeah.